City Council, Kara Seitzinger, City of Scranton resident, employee of the city, taxpayer, all that. I really am going to be very brief. I spoke to this body a couple of times relative to the Delta Medics Highmark issue, health insurance issue. I come today to speak to you. I have received a response from the Pennsylvania Insurance Commission that I think is important for council to know, especially we're doing budget time, and I know you guys have your plates filled. I really do. Additionally, I had tossed around some ideas when Mark first had his scope that we thought was going to be clean about perhaps Delta Medics going out to the public and getting some type of press as far as social media or making a commercial. I had said, social media, obviously Facebook was my first thought. I did not do that because obviously on the 27th or 24th we had some bad news and then deferred some surgery. I need to let you all know that I have created a Facebook page called NEPA Supporters of Delta Medics. And I did that for the reason that a few days after the article appeared about Mark, which was September 1st, the day of his surgery, a few days after that, a gag order was placed on Delta Medics. So people are now calling, asking about, their continuation of care or new care, or making appointments, and simply put, even to me, they can't speak to anybody. So the Facebook page is a forum for that. Margot Sosnick is the CEO of Delta Medics. She's obviously extremely upset about the fact that she thinks, people, the perception out there is that the Delta Medics doctors, the Delta Medics CEO, simply don't care about their 13,000 plus employees, and that really isn't the case. They were told that there would be no further negotiations. They signed the confidentiality agreement, so when people do call Delta Medics, they won't get anywhere. But through the Facebook page, it's amazing the amount of people that have reached out to myself, my husband, one of which I'll speak to about in a second, with questions. So I'm kind of trying to, when I'm up making dinner at 4:30 in the morning for when I get home from work, I try and field what I can. Because as Mark had said, and I say, it's about more than us. So to that, it brings me to the fact that one gentleman reached out to me from California. This gentleman is a UCLA graduate. He is a business management graduate who, his name is Ben Quirk from Quirk Healthcare Solutions. I had posted on, because I'm just that kind of a girl, posted the letter from Highmark, or the Pennsylvania Insurance Commission about Highmark. In that letter, and I'm going to quote you just 2 lines from that letter. Please be advised, your plan is administered by Highmark Blue Cross NEPA under a self-funded contract and is not insurance that is under the jurisdiction of the Pennsylvania Insurance Commission. This gentleman had contacted me and said, you better talk to your employer if that's the case. So I kind of tossed it around, but I think a lot of these questions Attorney Menorah is probably going to have to pose or answer for you. The little I do know, we do have some SIRs throughout the city of Scranton. And I had emailed Jessica Boyle today, who's a tremendous girl. If she doesn't know the answer, she's going to find the answer. And I think we have a real asset in her for the city of Scranton. So I had posed several questions to her. And, again, I think that it's very important that you all ask these questions. But her one response specifically was I asking, was Highmark the third-party administrator? They are, in fact, the third-party administrator. In other words, the city is either the insurance company, quote-unquote, or we pay somebody to administer the plan. Is it, okay? So it really comes into play because if that is the case, and I'm 99.9% sure that that is the case, for us as a city, the problem then becomes, if there's a stop loss for catastrophic or unplanned medical, the city would assume that liability. In other words, the city of Scranton now would have to pay insurance bills that Highmark arbitrarily does not cover. Additionally, when I spoke before this body the last time, I talked about speaking to the gentleman at Blue Cross Highmark, and he kept telling me back and forth, yes, we are Highmark, then he said, no, we're Blue Cross. Jessica did confirm with me today in writing that the merger does not take effect until January of 2017. So we have a real, I'm not trying to be difficult at all. I'm just trying to inform you, inform the public. I'm so grateful again for our health insurance. There's so many things that we have to get done here in the city, and I know this is low on the totem pole, but it speaks to the issue of costs. A couple other questions that I have is, there's only 4 that I'm going to ask you. If in fact, number 1, do we employ an administrator, or are we the administrator? That's number 1. I would ask, and you can do what you want to obtain copies of all health insurance contracts between the city, insurance carriers for the past 5 years. At the very least, we had Aetna prior to Blue Cross some years ago, and they're pretty much obsolete, Aetna in the area. Determine the term for each contract and cost paid each year. I would suggest or ask you to suggest that we immediately urge the mayor, HR director, VA, from signing any contract with Highmark or any other party that can't give us significant timetables and significant contracts. Again, finally, have we obtained quotes from other insurance carriers within the area? So I know I'm kind of jumbled here, but I really, this was a spur of the moment thing for me to come. But I really do think it's an extremely important thing. My homework is self-funded, and I question somebody from New Jersey and also the California gentleman with a company as big as the city of Scranton.